Good afternoon. As Matthew said, I represent Roma Metropolitane. In place our Mr. Bortoli, our CEO, who was unable to meet to be at this meeting. He sent his best regards to all the people present to organizer of MetroRail to 2012. I'm in the technical supervisory group of the Sea Line, the third one in Rome, currently under construction. My company works on behalf of the municipality of Rome to carry out all functions connected with the construction, enlargement, extension of new lines, and modernization of existing ones, as well as corridors for public transport, innovative transport system, and all other intervention concerning public transport to be implemented in our city. In particular, Roma Metropolitane works on behalf of the municipality, and our activities go from design of works plant and system, works direction, responsabile unico del procedimento. Roma Metropolitane execute the function of a compulsory purchase authority, activities of contracting authorities and functions of tender procedure manage, and draw up and stipulate contracts with the winning bidders of the tenders, and draw up all proceedings and documents necessary for the execution, prosecution and completion of works. Roma Metropolitane manages on behalf of Roma municipality approximately 10 billion euros of investments connected to the mobility system in our city. Today I'm going to tell you what building an underground in Rome means. It means facing very peculiar problems, very specific problems, and to find a very peculiar solution. And then I will show you the development program of existing metro network in our city, as the existing two lines, A and B, will double to 4, around 100 kilometers of tunnels for 100 stations. Finally, I'll tell you in short our effort to supplement public resources for development of existing metro network with new financial partners. This is an ancient carta of Rome where you can see the track of the existing line B and the future line C. And you can see also all the monuments and ancient buildings that we are going to impact with our metro lines. This is nice for me, thinking that we are going to live over all this stuff in Rome. These are some archaeological excavation propedeutic to the excavation of the station in Piazza Venezia. You can see Altare della Patria. And these are some walls of the ancient building before the excavation of Via dei Fori Imperiali. Thus we have the walls of the building, Palazzetto Venezia, medieval age. Piazza Madonna di Loreto, in front of the Altare della Patria. In Rome we have until 15 archaeological layers, each one connected with a specific age, from prehistoric in Palatino Hill to imperial, archaic or medieval, Renaissance, Baroque, and so on. This is some marble pavement in Piazza Madonna di Loreto. This is the reconstruction of the Ateneum of Imperatore Adriano in Piazza Madonna di Loreto. This is the excavation shaft of Via Sforza Cesarini along T2 track in the very center of Rome. Some pavements. This is Via Sora along T2 in the center. Mosaic pavement. This is Via Cesare Battisti. The excavation is in correspondence of the stairway to accede to the future Venezia station in Piazza Venezia. This is Via Sagno. The excavation was conducted in correspondence of the introduction shaft of TBMs. This is some Roman amphoras in Largo Brindisi next to San Giovanni stations. Via Casilina Vecchia, in correspondence of ventilation shaft 4.2. Under this pavement we found the ancient Via Labicana. This is a panoramic view of that pavement. Moreover, we have geological and hydrogeological problems, as Rome is in the Tevere Valley, so we have alluvial and recent sediments soil with very poor mechanical characteristics and high deformability, so we have to consider this fact in our design stage. Also, water level is very high, and we have to keep the water level unchanged in the surroundings to avoid any settlement to buildings and ancient monuments. Therefore, we have to consider that building an underground, we have to build an underground in densely populated areas. So we have often no place for working areas nor for stations. Here we have some panoramic view of our works, San Giovanni station, Lodi station along the sea line under construction. And so we have to face all these problems with executive technologies like trench cutter. We have to build station and ventilation shaft from the surface between diaphragm wall until 15 meters deep. And also we have to use jet grouting at the bottom of the excavation to reduce permeability of the excavation and to improve mechanical characteristics of the soil. We use also ground freezing and compensation grouting for buildings. And the tunnels being dug with TBM, FPB type to reduce settlement and to avoid risks, any risk to monuments and buildings on the surface, and to avoid archaeological strata on the surface. Very deep, until 50 meters deep in the center of Rome. And the final result of all this effort are very livable station, free of architectural barriers, and the internal passage are designed to be densely used, and when it's possible, are completely, fully automated. This is a view of internal of the internal view of Foro Imperiale station. The works are going to start at the end of April. And in the center of Rome, escalators and stairway are completely uncovered to minimize and reduce the impact on the environment. Also, lift completely glassed. I are located in to avoid impact with the locations. In the suburbs, stations are planned to be strongly recognizable and a sign for urban environment, are places of urban aggregation. All material finishing signage are planned to be a sense of unit and also comfort of passengers. There are some stations on line T5 under construction in the northwest part of the city. This is an internal view of Teano station. All the stations are planned to be safe, as Line C will use the first line in Rome, the safest and the more efficient system, as it will be fully automated with platform doors on the bench that will open only when the trains arrive in stations. And the system will increase also the capacity as it will be, the trains will be more frequent when requested by demand at peak hours. Also, we have a system of video surveillance in and out the stations and into the train. We have also Wi-Fi system to receive and transmit telephony data. And also this device will be extended from the Line C to all the stations and to all the network. This is a view of our developing plan. Under construction, we have this. Okay. Our line B1 from the existing line B, station Bologna, to the external Great Ring Road. Are 9 kilometers of tunnels for 9 stations, and this part from Bologna to Stazione Ionio is under construction. Functional tests are in course. This part of the line is in the approval and financing phase. Then we have the Line C from Claudio Mazzini, the tribunal area, and to Monte Compatri Pantano. It crosses the center of the city in Piazza Venezia, Colosseo, and San Giovanni. Then merging onto surface next to the Great Ring Road, and it goes along the existent urban railway Roma Pantano. And then we have the extension of existing Line B, 3.8 stations from San Basilio, Casal Monastero. Line C are 25 kilometers from Claudio Mazzini to Monte Compatri, and for 30 stations. Then we have the fourth line, Line D. It connects the south, dense neighborhoods to the south, to the northwest part of the city. We have also the extension of Line A. These are 2 stations, 2 kilometers of tunnel. Then we have planned also this track from Claudio Mazzini to Grotta Rossa, around 9 kilometers of tunnels. And we have the the current work, line B1 and line C. The first part to be open is the track Monte Compatri Pantano to Parco di Centocelle, 15 stations. Then at the end of 2014 will be opened the track between Parco di Centocelle and Lodi Station. At the end of 2015 will be opened this last track. At the end of 2017, the track will be opened until Colosseo Station. This is how demand and offer grow up from now to 2020. Now, probably the C line will be the last big work that will be fully financed by public administration. So administration of Roma Capitale has opted to use project financing for the other section of the metro system, starting from the extension of A and B line and of the ones under construction B1 and C. Roma Metropolitane makes use of specific tender procedures to acquire technical and financial proposal from the market to award concessions to private contractor. We used to say that we have three different patterns of project finance for new metro lines. Type A, building and operating a complete and independent new infrastructure. Type B, the partner builds an extension of an existing line and manages the hub. And type C, he revamps and extends an existing line. In the pattern type A, we have the case of line D, and is the most suitable for an independent metro line. It's the clearest pattern from the point of view of the transfer of the management risk, because it avoids any confusion in the allocation of responsibility when a disservice occurs. So for line D, the concessionaire will conduct preliminary investigation, develop the project, build the line, operate the rail system, and manage the service of the station and hubs for 20-year concession period. It's also the case of line C, where general contractor proposed a financial contribution to the construction of the last section of the line from Claudio Mazzini, for the line from Venezia to Claudio Mazzini, and also the operating of the entire line vis-à-vis an availability charge during the operating. This proposal is actually under examination by Rome municipality. For the type B, the private partner in the station and hubs provides the maintenance and the surveillance of structure and plants. It can also provide a welcome service besides carrying out subsidiary commercial activities. Instead, the management of the transport service, including the purchase and the maintenance of the rolling stocks, remains to the previous handler. This is the case of the extension of line B, B1, and line A. In the third case, the construction of an extension line as existing line A and B, the public administration would entrust to the concessionaire the total responsibility of the operating of the transport service. It would not be advisable for public administration to leave the operating to someone different from the concessionaire of the revamping works because the responsibilities of the disservice could waive. This is the pattern for revamping of the existing lane A and B, as I said. So, in 2005, Eurostat recommended that public-private partnership must respect both the following conditions. The private partner have to bear the construction risk. It's a guarantee of compliance with the envisaged time schedule and cost over implementation phase. The archaeological risk remains charged to municipality of Rome. The private partner bears at least one of either availability or demand. In Rome, we are going to build an underground in high-intensity populated areas. So demand is unchanged, as the fare is fixed and very low. Without choice and very low price, people will continue in every case to use the metro. On the other hand, public administration is interested to increase the number of people who use infrastructure. The option adopted in Rome is that the private partners bears the availability risk, so the proceeds and related demand risk remain charged to the administration, which will continue to manage the system of fare proceeds. This is the option that will allow the concessionaire to adopt the most efficient behavior in the operating of the service. Its profit will depend on the achievement of the standard of service established by the conceding administration. Finally, the construction of the new transport system or the enhancing of the existing one, improving accessibility of the territory, increasing the value of lands and buildings interested by, could render notable operation of land valorization sustainable, using the instruments di variante permitted by City General Plan, that is changing of the land use plan. This way to proceed has been challenged by local committees, which make an opposition to this relevant change of land use. So despite difficulties of public funding, the development program will be continued and concluded only whether the ongoing procedures of project financing will prove to be valid and will be completed. Overall, we are confident of the good results of the different financing patterns above described, but we also know that the real response will be given from the market in the next year. Thank you very much for your kind attention.